Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins, going to move some crypto around for you guys, and as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't troubleshoot your problems here live. Well, thanks again. Thanks for joining me. We're seeing another Trump pump this weekend as the inauguration day is upon us, and there's a lot of positive news in the crypto world. Looks like Trump might sign some executive orders early on and that are pro-crypto, where the chances of the Bitcoin strategic reserve have gone up on betting platforms. I'm going to talk about that. And of course, we're comfortably over 100,000 per Bitcoin. I think right now we're about 103, 104, 104,000 per Bitcoin right now. So it's a pretty positive time for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We'll go through the news. We'll talk about that. Ledger has just announced that not too long ago that they are supporting Uniswap within Ledger Live. So I noticed that today when I poked around, so maybe we'll make a few quick trades. The advantage of using a DEX like 1inch or Uniswap within Ledger Live is that it allows you to do the trade using their clear signing technology as opposed to blind signing. So I'm going to give it a shot. We might have an epic fail during the live stream if it doesn't work out for me, but I'm going to try to disable blind signing, which I believe is right now is enabled on my Ethereum app. And we'll attempt to make a few small trades. I apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather, so I apologize for my nasally voice. We'll try to get through everything. I'm glad you're all here. Let's go over and greet everybody. All right. Oh, okay. I need to flip monitors here real quick. So you guys, there we go. So good evening, everybody. Ken is here. Simon is here. Both were here early. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia, always early. Chloe Ferretti, Mr. Miskey, Hans Hanna, Dustin and Shadow, Marv, Chris Klein. Good to have you here live. I'm glad you were able to get a chance to join us live, Chris. Gregory Whelan is here again. HR by Catherine. Yet again, good to have you here with us, Catherine. Nemo host 323 _ ETH. Good to have you. I like the fact that you came to talk about Bitcoin, but you stayed for my education. I appreciate that. I do try to focus on education. I am going to talk about the Trump meme coin tonight. That's one of the news stories. And I knew nothing about it. I was kind of upset when I saw the news story today. I was like, nobody told me about this. I mean, I could have at least jumped in at midnight last night. But yeah, I mean, I try not to be sucked into checking my portfolio every few hours now. I've sort of learned my lesson from 2022. So take it as it comes, right? Bobby's here. Chris is here. Simona Mullen. Samsung Apple, Jan Sturgman from the Netherlands, and who is here from Birds, Bees, and Trees from Smoky, LA. Glad to have you. I didn't know you were out in LA. I moved from LA in 2019 here to Michigan. We lived in Sherman Oaks, and I remember there were a few, there's always fires. Most of the fires that I encountered when I lived in LA, they're usually up in the hills in uninhabited areas mostly. There's not a lot of major fires that hit residential areas like this one. So this latest one is quite unique, and my prayers go out to everyone in LA that was affected by the fires in the Pacific Palisades area, especially, but also Altadena and some friends of mine out in Woodland Hills. And I know there's some fires like in the Hollywood Hills as well. Really crazy. It's just very uncommon for fires to be in those residential areas. So my prayers go out to everyone still in LA. And I never looked back when we got here to Michigan. If you've never been in the stream before, check out the description. I've got all the news stories that I'm going to cover tonight linked there. Got an overview of what we're going to talk about in the news. I've got Crypto Laura's website. She's, pardon me. Sorry, guys. She's pretty high end. If you've got a lot of crypto and you have a lot of transactions and you really are just really don't know what to do about your taxes and are overwhelmed, she can do it. It's not cheap, but she can make sense of it all. So check out Laura. She's been on a live stream before. I think she mentioned that she's willing to come back. So we'll see if we can't get Crypto Laura on the live stream. I have an agenda. I'm going to do some stuff in Ledger Live using Uniswap. We'll talk about how you should deploy a crypto hardware wallet when doing DeFi. The long story short here is that if you're going to use DeFi and you have a Ledger device, you should probably have a separate device for your DeFi. It's possible to authorize malicious transactions that could drain your wallet. It is more secure to use a hardware wallet if you're doing DeFi. But I wouldn't use the go-to wallet that has your, your main holdings on it, right? Just makes sense. We'll talk a little bit more about that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about hardware wallet setup due diligence, the things you should do when you set up your hardware wallet. I did a video not too long ago about setting up a Ledger Flex, and someone commented that I probably should have covered the seed phrase check to make sure the seed phrase was valid, and maybe talked about doing a small test, wipe and restore, and check the balance to make sure that the device is set up properly and it can be restored properly. It's hard enough for people to set up a hardware wallet, and I try not to get too far into the weeds, but that was a very good comment, and I want to cover that tonight. So, and if you didn't understand what I was talking about, fine. We're going to go to the news anyway right now. Here we go. Bitcoin poised to top records as Trump inauguration nears. Trump inauguration is on Monday, a couple of days, and we'll have a new president. Major coins due for 10% swing, according to traders. Wednesday's soft U.S. core CPI has opened doors for traders to focus on Trump swearing in and the possibility of first day pro-crypto announcement. That's what I was referring to earlier. We got inflation, asymmetric price discovery, 10% swings. We're at, let's see, where are we at now? We are at, oh, I hate that. All right, fine. I'll go up here. 1044. So we're doing pretty good. Yeah, we're looking good. I think the all-time high was just a few weeks back at 106, or maybe a month ago. So we're flirting with all-time highs right now. The move into six figures, risk taker in the broader market, followed a softer than expected core CPI report, which alleviated hawkish Fed fears, all that Fed data, all that stuff going on, set the stage for a good pump. The removal of inflation fears clears the way for Bitcoin to break through the strong 100,000 resistance level. Well, it's already done that. Trump's well-documented support for pro-growth policies and his track record of favoring asset price appreciation further reinforces the bullish outlook for Bitcoin. I was wondering if they talked about that. If Trump indicates on day one that he will be creating the strategic Bitcoin reserve, even if he doesn't sign it on day one, expect price discovery to be asymmetric. That means good. So I'll let you read that article. I've got it linked down below. The next big one is, we touched on this a little bit. Bitcoin reserve odds skyrocket on betting markets. Now, you may have heard of the strategic oil reserve. I think that's slightly, the purpose of the strategic oil reserve is slightly different. It's supposed to be a backup of local oil in case there's an oil crunch and we can't get oil. It's more of a commodity thing than it is a financial thing. But a Bitcoin strategic reserve would be more financial oriented and would be kind of a hedge against inflation, sort of the way that the government has a strategic gold reserve for value. Now, a lot of the gold now is paper gold, but I'm sure the government still has quite a bit of gold in its possession, right? So Trump is talking about creating a strategic Bitcoin reserve, which is a large chunk of Bitcoin owned by the government as an inflation hedge to just be in the treasury. And so that means that the government will not only be officially holding Bitcoin, but officially buying it to put into the reserve. So that's very bullish for the price of Bitcoin. Bettors on Kalshi, a U.S. derivatives exchange, set the probability of Trump creating a U.S. BTC reserve in 2026 at nearly 70%. Users on Polymarket, a cryptocurrency prediction platform, predict a 42% chance Trump will do so in his first 100 days. Odds on both platforms are up roughly 20% from early January lows. So we might know on Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday about this, or it might still be up in the air if he doesn't mention it. So we'll see. It will be very interesting. Should be an interesting week. A big news cycle next week. A lot of politics, a lot of announcements, a lot of Trump signing executive orders. It didn't really used to be that way, but executive orders have become a big part of the way this government functions. A lot of people claim that they're not strictly legal in that sense. They probably are because they are being enforced by, the law enforcement. But yeah, it's kind of a tricky way for a president to use his authority to, make proclamations. And they were used sparingly in the past, and now they're pretty much, there's just a deluge of them at the beginning of a presidency. And there's a lot of tit for tat because Biden signed a lot of executive orders when he became president that countermanded a lot of Trump's policies. And now Trump's back, and a lot of his executive orders will countermand Biden's policies. So, interesting week in store for us. All right. Also, I talked about this. Someone brought it up. There was a Trump official meme coin announced yesterday at 8 p.m. or whenever it was late Friday. I wasn't in front of my computer. I wasn't looking at the market. I was watching the Severance second season premiere with my wife, and I don't regret that at all. I enjoy my time with my family, and the less time spent in front of my computer obsessing over crypto markets, the better, right? We'll just say that. But this meme coin debuted yesterday and was just a few cents at debut, and then $14 in less than 6 hours. So if you did get in, you probably did pretty good. There was some controversy in the crypto community whether or not this was real or not. I think it is. It's hard to know for sure, but price is price, right? I guess if you ride that wave up, you might want to jump off if you're not sure it's real or not. But just one more aspect of the crypto market, meme coins. I'm not a huge fan of meme coins, but they seem to be the way that most traders are making money these days. Okay, let's go to the next story here. Another prediction by a trader, Bitcoin price still on track for 180K in 2025. An interview with Phil Biff, I guess that's how you say it. Bitcoin bull market excitement is building. Wow, it's been building. It's been exciting, right? Bitcoin hitting 130,000 would be a great result for the current bull market. In his latest interview with Cointelegraph, the co-founder of Trading Suite, Descent Trader, gave his predictions on where Bitcoin price action is heading. So we're, like I said, we're well above 100,000 right now. He's talking about a target of 180,000 this year. So good prediction, from a well-established figure in the trading industry. So we could see that. It's hard to say. Yeah, and like I said, I have this story linked down below if you want to read the whole story. And the technical thing that I wanted to talk about tonight was Uniswap integration into Ledger Live. If you're not aware, when you trade on a decentralized exchange like Uniswap or SushiSwap or a Solana DEX like Jupiter, the only way to use your hardware device, if you are using a wallet that's based on your hardware device, is with a ledger, is by enabling a thing called blind signing. And basically what this means is that the smart contract that you're trying to execute when you make a swap for coins is too complicated to communicate to the ledger. Or let's say the ledger is too dumb to understand all of that information coming in or to make sense of it. And so in order to authorize your transaction, you kind of have to turn off the bumpers, right? You basically kind of have to tell the device, hey, don't worry about it. I know what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and sign this transaction. And that's risky. But in the past and in the present, you really can't trade on a DEX with a wallet that's being managed by a ledger device without enabling blind signing. And it's risky behavior. It's almost like you're kind of overriding the security of the device. You're still using the device. You have to be very careful. Watch what's coming onto the device. Watch what you're seeing on your screen. But it's not really an ideal situation. And Ledger has been working to fix this for quite a while with a technology that they call clear signing, which allows you to clearly see on your device what exactly is about to happen in English, right? So like you are about to swap, 0.05 Ethereum for 50 of these meme coins, and they'll tell you the ticker and everything, and you can see exactly what's happening and authorize it on your device. So that's the important step here that Ledger is trying to implement with this, integrating Uniswap into Ledger Live. Uniswap Labs, the developers of the decentralized protocol Uniswap, and Ledger, a crypto hardware wallet provider, have announced a new integration to improve DeFi accessibility. By the way, a lot of people that buy Ledgers only use Ledger Live. They're too nervous to use third-party wallets and third-party websites, and they feel more comfortable in Ledger Live. So making Uniswap accessible from within Ledger Live will improve accessibility to DeFi in general, right? The partnership will enable Uniswap's trading API to be integrated with the Ledger Live crypto asset management app. The integration will allow users to swap tokens directly within Ledger Live while maintaining control of their assets through their Ledger hardware. Mary Catherine Lader, Chief Operating Officer of Uniswap Labs, told Telegraph that the integration, Plasma Laser 7, thank you for that subscription. I appreciate that. To unlock value through universal exchange and simplify the self-custody user experience. Clear signing directly from the DApp. Ian Rogers, Chief Experience Officer and board member of Ledger, told Cointelegraph about the clear signing feature supported by the Uniswap API on Ledger Live. Clear signing is the only secure way users should be authorizing transactions. If it's unverifiable, it's unreliable. That's a very cognizant point there. If you're just authorizing with your buttons and you really don't understand what's being shown to you on your screen, then it's basically like you're just closing your eyes and hitting the buttons. But like I said, this has been an ongoing thing for several years now. Blind signing is just kind of one of those necessary evils, because I wouldn't have been able to go on to Trump's site last night or on a Solana exchange and buy Trump's meme coin unless my blind signing was enabled. So it's like, hey, if you want to get, into the trading and make some real money, then you got to have blind signing enabled, right? So we'll see. We'll give this a shot and see what happens. Let me get caught up and say hello to everybody. A couple new people have come in here. Paul is here from Quincy. Chris Klein from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. That's awesome. Not too far from Michigan. Let's see. Peter Condolis is here. Good to have you here talking about XRP. Let's see. Samsung. I heard one wallet owns 80% of the coins for Trump coin. May be a rug pull. It's possible, right? A lot of this stuff you can look at on the blockchain if you're savvy. And most of the meme coins out there are have centralized ownership. That's just kind of the way they operate. So, yeah, it's a very risky sector to be in. I tend to, advise people. I don't give financial advice, but when people ask me, I tend to stick with the top 10 or 20 and buy a coin based on its use case. If you think it has a good use case and is a good long-term investment, that'd be the way to go, as opposed to, throwing your money into, the next great meme coin, which it could be risky. That the price could be very volatile. And as you point out, if the largest amount of the coin, or in this case 80% of the coin, is owned by one firm, then they could easily affect the price just by placing large orders, right? Birds, bees, and trees. Good to have you. Let's see. Good. I don't see any burning questions right now. So why don't we jump in and give this clear signing thing a little test run. So the first thing I'll do is let's check our camera over here, see if we're in good shape. Oh, not that one. Kitty's not around, so this is Kitty camera if he shows up. All right, got everything set up here. This is my lovely wife. She's my lock screen picture. Let's go ahead and put in my pin here. All right, so when you're trading on a DEX and you're using your device to manage the wallet, You generally, in the case of Uniswap, you need to be in the Ethereum app. Now, I believe if we do this tonight, I think we're going to be in the Exchange app. And maybe the Exchange app doesn't have blind signing on or off. It just doesn't use it. We'll see. But generally, if I were on the Uniswap website, using MetaMask as my third-party wallet and using my ledger to secure the wallet, I would have to go into the settings here. And as you can see right now, blind signing is not enabled, but I could enable it here doing that. You can also do it on the Ledger Nano S Plus and the X. It's in the settings. It's a little more tricky because you've got that 2-button interface, but you can enable and disable blind signing. I'm going to leave it disabled for now, and let's see if I can. Oh my gosh, what did I do? Okay, that was just me. All right, I'm not crazy. No, not crazy. I'm going to bring my mouse over here. I think I got this. I did this before. Yeah. All right. So let's launch Ledger Live. Yeah, here we go. And so if we're looking for Uniswap functionality, I was looking in the Discover. I was looking in the Discover section, and I didn't see Uniswap. Now they have a 1inch app here, but I didn't see a Uniswap. Uniswap app at all. So the way to find it here is in the swap section. So in swap, now, and that's funny, there it is down there. Now, if I were to go into the swap section and say, I want to trade some Bitcoin for Ethereum, I don't think it's going to work right. So let's just give it an example there. Notice that the options that you get here are CEXs. I don't know that it indicates on here whether they are a DEX or a CEX. CEX would be a centralized exchange. I believe all of these are CEXs. Basically, there is no DeFi on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of a unique blockchain. And in order to swap Bitcoin for something else, you need to use a centralized exchange. And so what happens when we do this is that I would say, okay, I want to use this. And when I would do the swap, they would actually send the Bitcoin from my wallet to them on their website. And then they would do the trade using my Bitcoin that I made on deposit with them for the US dollar coin, and then they would send the US dollar coin back to my wallet. As far as I could see on the surface, it would look seamless, and I would think that it was happening in my wallet, but it does not happen directly in your wallet. It actually sends it out somewhere else. But if we stick with an Ethereum swap, and let's say, now I need my keyboard. I thought I had more on here. I guess I'm going to have to use the other. I think the Flex has more Ethereum on there. Oh yeah. What? Come on, Rex. What are you doing here? I'm sorry. See, look at me. Epic fail here. I thought there was more. Oh, okay. There is. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I see what I was doing. I was putting in a too small amount. My bad. So what we want to do is maybe something like that. Okay. There we go. Now notice that I still have the CEXs. And in this case, it's not really a true swap because it's me making a deposit on a centralized exchange. They do the trade, and then they send the results back to my wallet. But it's sort of under the hood. Now, if I were to choose 1 inch, then it would do a decentralized swap using a decentralized exchange. And on a decentralized exchange, the end users provide the liquidity. It's sort of a community liquidity pool. On a centralized exchange, they have a bunch of their own assets that they use for liquidity, just like a stockbroker would. Um, and so on a DEX, it's a little more complicated, and smart contracts are involved. And they pretty much happen within the wallet. So if I set up a swap, um, then it would execute using a smart contract, using the community liquidity and swapping my token for the other token. And my token would go out of the wallet, so to speak, but I would be doing a direct swap, getting back my resulting token, right? And that's all done through Ethereum smart contracts. Now, I was wondering if they had other chains besides Ethereum, but I don't have any Ethereum. I don't have any other chains at the moment. But let's just stick with Ethereum for the moment. So let's choose Uniswap here. All right, yeah, I need to put this on US dollar coin flex. Was it stacks? Yeah. Yeah, they won't swap across devices because I'm managing more than one device. So let's see here. Let's see if we can shave it down just a tad. Yeah, I'm just going to, I wish I meant to put some more Ethereum in here earlier so that I could have a little more leeway, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and do a small swap. And I encourage you, if you're doing this for the first time, you should try to do some small stuff just to get the feel of it. Don't like, oh, you've heard about this great meme coin, and if you don't buy it today, you're going to miss out, and then you get $5,000 worth of Ethereum in your wallet, and you run over there and make this hefty swap. This is not the right approach to take to crypto. You want to do small tests first, and practice so that you'll be comfortable doing these things. All right, so let's see. Can I get a quote? Oh, okay. Well, let's hit this again. All right, so Uniswap is okay with this trade. Now, Legend NOS is not compatible with Uniswap. You can use Legend NOS Plus, Legend NOS X, or Stacks or Flex to experience cross-chain swaps on Uniswap with Ledger Live. Very nice. So, that's just an aside. I get a lot of flack from people that, I'm always saying you should upgrade to the latest wallet, the latest technology, and people are out there telling, oh, my Ledger NOS works just fine. I don't need a new one, blah, blah, blah. Well, I have said many times, the Ledger NOS, first of all, they don't sell it anymore. It's an outdated device. It's basically obsolete with these newer devices that have replaced it, especially the Ledger NOS Plus. It's basically the same device, just better. And now you're seeing one of the bigger limitations that there are certain things it won't be compatible with, like this in Ledger Live Uniswap trade swap functionality. I was told by Ian at Ledger that the Ledger NOS is too primitive. The secure element chip is too primitive to support clear signing. So if you're still using an old Ledger NOS, this should be a wake-up call to get yourself a better device, especially if you've got lots of crypto. Why limp along with an old, outdated device when you could be using something better? Let's go ahead and do the swap. I want to see what it's going to ask me, which app to open. Okay, look here. My network fees are going to be $20 on this one. I wish that I had gotten better prepared for this, but I'll go ahead and eat those fees. But the percentage of this is crazy. The fee is almost 50% of my trade. But I'm going to go ahead and eat that. It's only $20. But yeah, a larger trade would probably have a lower gas fee. Right. Let's go ahead and do it anyway and see what. Okay, it wants me to unlock the device, which I've done. Oh, I had my device connected to the wrong cable. Let's go ahead. I have a charging cable right next to it. It was connected to a charging brick. So just got it connected to the computer, which is fine. That it's going to tell us. Whoops. All right, Rex. Come on, buddy. You can do it. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, now I can retry. All right. I want to see which. Oh, okay. So it does want to use the Ledger Exchange app rather than my Ethereum app. So yeah, when you're doing swap in Ledger Live, it uses a different app than I would if I were just doing Uniswap. You could. I think it's too late now. But there's a Uniswap app. Check it out. So I was trying to flip over so you could see what was going on my device. It was installing the app that I need. So I did not realize that there is a Uniswap app now for the Ledger device. It's pretty cool. Maybe I should have done this before. But yeah, I always like doing this stuff live so you guys can kind of learn with me, right? So we'll go ahead. It installed the Uniswap app because it knew it needed it. So it installed the app. Now it wants me to open it. So we'll hit open. And let's see what we got here. The app enables clear signing transaction with Uniswap. Review. Let me show you what's going on here. All right. It's telling me to sign the transaction. All right. And to sign the transaction, I'm going to swipe over. And there we go. That's pretty good, right? It's giving me a very clear readout of exactly what I'm doing. And my fee is 65%, right? So it might even say, hey, wait a minute, dude. Are you sure you want to do this? We'll see. So we're doing how much ETH this is going to cost us? We're going to get back 40 USDC. And our fees are there at the bottom. We'll swipe again. And now we sign the transaction by holding. And it looked like it worked. Let's see what we got on the screen now. Transaction might not show up in swap history, but are processed securely. Check the latest operations detail in your account for all transactions. Pretty cool. And you can't see it because I'm in the way. Whoops. It says transaction sent. Okay. All right. So that worked out okay. I wish I'd have lined up a better transaction that would have cost me less. And I think I'll play with this later and see if I can do some swaps over on the base network. Let's go back over here. Poop-a-doop-a-doo. Here we go. All right, so here we are, and transactions sent. Let me move myself again a little bit. Let's see what it says here. Okay, there's our swap. Cost us $63 worth of Ethereum. I'm kind of in the way. Our fee was $20. And there's our transaction ID. And it's, according to this, it looks like it's still processing. So, and then we can view on Explorer. This will take us over to what went on the Ethereum blockchain. And it still says it's pending. Now, it might be a bit for all we know. So let's hang out and see. I'll answer some questions while we're waiting. But yeah, this is really interesting. It is a much clearer readout of exactly what I was doing than when I was using Uniswap. So for those of you who are not familiar, if I were to do this in Uniswap per se, I would use like MetaMask, which is a third-party wallet, and you can see here that I have my Ledger Stacks set up as one of my accounts. And let's go to tokens here. Okay. I thought I should have. Oh, this is Base. Is it Base? No, that's regular Ethereum. It's still showing that I have more Ethereum than I really do. Let's go back here. Let's go to accounts. Ethereum Stacks. Yeah, Ethereum Stacks is still showing it's 153. But there is an outgoing transaction down here of me sending the Ethereum to Uniswap for my trade. It appeared to work just fine, but we'll see, right? The proof is in the pudding. Now, if this were to fail somehow, I would lose my gas fee, that $20 fee that I spent. I would still have the Ethereum that I was trying to trade. And of course, I wouldn't have my result at all. But when you do a swap on a DEX which fails, you lose your gas fees. That's one of the risks you take. But let's see, if I were doing it on Uniswap, I would go right to their website. And then I would line up the trade, right? And of course, I would also, we'll go to the app. Yeah, we want the extension. Oh, well, this is weird. You can't just do it on their website anymore? They used to have, that's really weird. Yeah, it used to be a web interface. That's really strange. I haven't used Uniswap in so long that I did not realize that you could just trade right on their... Oh, okay, there it is. I guess you can still do that. And it's connected to this wallet, right? But it's still showing that that Ethereum hasn't gone out yet. But, if we were to line up that same trade... I was trying to swap for some US dollar coin. I would just do it right in here, right? Right. And I would do it on their website. And if I tried to make the swap, of course it would fail because first of all, I need to be in the Ethereum app to do this. Yeah, it's telling me that my ledger isn't connected. So let's try it one more time. Well, it's not. It might want me to reconnect my ledger. Let me try that. This is what happens when you're live, right? This weird stuff. It says it's connected. Let me just reconnect it. All right. Oh. Doggone it. Okay. Used to be. You can tell I'm kind of rusty at this. I haven't done this in quite some time. Okay. I get it. I'm not connected. Okay. What do I do? Okay. How do I get back? All right, let's just delete this account. How's that? Okay. All right. Now let's go from scratch. Okay. We're going to add a hardware wallet. Let's hit Ledger. Let's hit continue. There we go. Ledger stacks. Connect. All right. That's the address. Okay. Now, can I do this now? All right. Oh, now it's calling it Ledger 1, but that's okay. Okay, we're going to connect. We'll use MetaMask. And there we go. Okay, there we go. We're back. All right, let's hit review. We'll do the same thing. We're going to attempt this again. Okay, there. Now we've got the confirmation button. And I'm going to just do this quick little trade to show you. Okay, there. Let me show you over here. Now let's zoom in here. All right, so this is what you would normally see on Uniswap, right? So it's basically telling me, and I'm in the Ethereum app, it's saying, hey, you can't clear sign this. So if you want to do this swap, you're going to have to go to settings and enable your blind signing, right? We showed that earlier, right? And when we do that, then we should be able to complete the swap. So now that I've enabled blind signing, let's hit try again. And let's hit confirm again. Okay, and they're telling me that blind signing is enabled. We'll continue anyway. And then review transaction. And see, this is what we see when we've got blind signing enabled. It's a lot of gobbledygook that a human being really doesn't understand. And so you really don't know what's going on here. Right, even this. It's kind of giving me the address information, but it was much less clear. Now, I'm just going to reject this because I'm almost out of Ethereum in this account. But that's the difference, right? So you got to see what it looked like when we did a clear signing swap. It looked great. It was very clear what I was doing, how much I was sending, how much I was supposed to get back, right? Let's see here. So that failed. That's good. Let's go back here. Oh, see, now it says sending. Oh, your transaction is stuck. That was my first one, right? Interesting. I'm not going to speed it up. That could get dicey. A speed up basically means I would have to, send a little more Ethereum. I've already sent too much Ethereum as it is. So I'm just going to, if this doesn't go all the way through, that's fine. What I really wanted to show you was the improved interface with clear signing. DEX trading is spotty at best. It's not a seamless experience. So it's pretty intimidating for newcomers, and even for reasonably savvy crypto users, because they don't always sometimes you have to try the same thing a few times before it actually goes through, and that can be a little stressful, especially when you're a little under some time pressure. You're trying to make an important trade, and time is an issue, and the transaction keeps failing. Especially if you're trying to get a coin that everybody's after and there's a lot of network traffic, right? But anyway, okay, so yeah, I guess you could do Thor chain. That is a Bitcoin DEX. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't remember about that one. Let's see, Bobby has a question. Bobby. Yeah, you get a Ledger Nano S Plus, Bobby. It's only $79. Pretty much this. I think maybe your S cost you $59 back in the day. I'm not sure. But if you're managing more than a couple of thousand worth of crypto, it's a worth it. It's a good investment. Watching now, I have a question. I have a 2-year-old Keystone Pro. If I buy the Keystone Pro 3, do I just activate it using my seed phrase and then discard my old wallet? Yeah, that's pretty much a good summary of what we're talking about. I would be a little more precise technically when I say that you would use the seed phrase of your original Keystone Pro and do a restore on your new Keystone Pro 3. The restore functionality is available during the setup. So instead of setting it up as new, you would choose to restore and then enter your 12 or 24 word seed phrase. And then that new device would be equivalent to your old device as far as the main private key goes. So you could use the devices interchangeably. And at that point, you could hang on to the old one if it still works. And use it as, that backup in case something happens to the new device. Or if you just don't want to use it anymore, you could reset the device, do a full reset so that there's no way anyone could access the crypto using that device anymore. Or you could crush it with a hammer, or throw it in the trash after you've done either one of those. It's entirely up to you. Yeah. Like in the case of, say, the Ledger Nano S. Like if I had an old Ledger Nano S and I upgraded to a Ledger Flex, and then after the restore, the Flex was equivalent and a mirror backup, I would probably just wipe the old Ledger Nano S and get rid of it. It's probably not. If I wanted a backup, I've always got my seed phrase if anything happened to my Flex. But it's not a bad idea to maybe have a newer device as a backup, like maybe a Ledger Nano X or a Ledger Nano S Plus. You're spending a little extra money there, but at least you would have two well-functioning, updated devices in case of emergency. It's always good to have a mirror backup on hand in case something happens to your go-to device. You never know, right? How different would it be to swap and transfer to a Keystone 3 Pro as you just did with the stacks? It would be a little different because the Keystone 3 Pro is an air-gapped wallet, so you would have to scan QR codes. If you're using a Keystone 3 Pro with, say, MetaMask, like, for example, if I wanted to add an account here, it would be the QR code based. The problem that I have with this scenario on my desktop is that I have a lot of, this is a giant rig with, you saw what I've got over here. So I've got the camera that's watching us now. I've got this Canon camera over here. I have this downward facing camera. And then I have the two webcams up here. So I have a total of 5 webcams. So when I try to do trading using Uniswap or my MetaMask wallet with an air-gapped wallet, it doesn't work well on my desktop because the webcam wants to scan the QR code, and the app or MetaMask doesn't know which webcam to use. It just gets confused and it doesn't work right. And so basically you have to hold up your wallet to the webcam to scan the QR code. And it's a little tricky to do. Air gap wallets are great, but I find they're too difficult for the average user. And that's just one of them. I know how to use them, but I find them cumbersome and inconvenient, which is why I prefer to use like a Ledger or a Trezor or something like that if I'm doing DeFi. Maybe if I'm long-term storage only, I might consider having some of my crypto on an air gap wallet. But I find the Ledger is, a versatile device that can do all kinds of storage, long-term, short-term, and DEX stuff. That brings me back earlier, as I was mentioning that if you're going to use a ledger device to manage a wallet that you want to do swaps and trades with, I would highly recommend using a secondary device for the trading aspect of it. Use one device as storage only, and then transfer your assets into that device, whether they're from an exchange if you're buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, or you're doing dollar cost averaging and you buy certain amounts of crypto when you get paid, like $100 a month or whatever you're doing. Transfer that into your go-to device. And then if you're doing DeFi on a secondary device, like maybe you're going to use a Ledger Nano X for your swaps and trades, when you're done with your swaps and trades, you could transfer your results, any crypto that you bought, over to your main device, right? And I've talked about managing multiple devices in Ledger Live. As you can see in my accounts, I've got some accounts based on a Flex and some based on a Stacks. So if the Ledger Stacks, as you can see, there's not a lot of Ethereum in the Ledger Stacks. And I don't think that transaction is going to go through. It looks like it failed. Otherwise, we would have seen the results of that swap a while back. So yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to go through. We're still seeing this not confirmed. Still says the swap is pending. It may or may not go through. And then I will have lost my $20 worth of Ethereum. Yeah. I don't do this as much as I used to. I just kind of blundered into this. I don't like generally doing swaps on the Ethereum network because the gas fees are so high. But that's not really all that I had ready to swap for the live stream. So I showed you kind of a worst case scenario. Not only did I have to do my swap on the Ethereum network, but I may have, the swap may not go through, and I'll lose that $20 worth of Ethereum. Now we could do this. Let's see. Let's do speed up or cancel. And then I'm going to need to probably send some more Ethereum. So we'll see what happens when that goes. Yeah, let's see what happens when we do that. Or I could cancel it out, which is a nice little functionality there, but I would lose my $20 worth of Ethereum that I spent on gas fees. Okay, I guess that's slightly higher. $5 more. All right. Ugh. All right, what's it want me to do? And now it wants me to open Ethereum, which is interesting. It just wants me to pump some more Ethereum into this transaction. It wants me to sign it. Right? Actually, that's a pretty good readout. Right? And then go ahead and swap. I'm surprised that they had me do this in the Ethereum app. Yeah, we'll see. Now, if it goes through, it'll be a miracle, eh? I usually don't do speed up. I usually would cancel and try again. But I figure, what the heck? Yeah, we'll see. We can do this, and we can view and explore. Oh, it says it failed. Oh, that's canceled. Okay. Oh, we're having all kinds of fun tonight, aren't we? All right. Yeah, it said it failed. Okay. All right. Well, that the whole transaction failed, and now I lost almost $30 worth of Ethereum. So those are the lessons that we learned. DeFi is not for the faint of heart, and you're probably better off trading on the alt networks, the alt EVM networks like Polygon. I like Base Network. The fees are really cheap there, and the transactions are really fast. So, yeah. A little lesson learned tonight, eh? Let's see. I got my Ledger Nano S Plus from Amazon Black Friday. Is it safe? Your device will do an integrity check when you first set it up. And then when you go into the My Ledger section of Ledger Live, you can see up here that it says genuine check. The genuine check is a cryptographic handshake that verifies that the device is legitimate, a legitimate Ledger device. I got to do a little AMA with Ledger on Thursday, and I spoke with Charles, who is their CTO, and Ian, who is their CXO, I believe, the Chief Experience Officer. And Charles was explaining how the genuine check works. And they put a cryptographic key, which they call an attestation, on every legitimate Ledger device. And when you connect to Ledger Live, that your device phones home, right, like ET, and verifies on Ledger servers with that cryptographic key that gets placed on every Ledger device. So if someone were to sell you a fake Ledger device or somehow tamper with your Ledger device in the supply chain, as you're insinuating there, if you bought it on Amazon, the Ledger genuine check would fail. So when you see that genuine check, you can rest assured that your device is genuine and that it's safe to use. I've said this many times, and Ian said it on Thursday. I would be perfectly comfortable finding a Ledger device in the gutter, taking it home, doing a factory reset, setting it up as brand new with my own key, and using it. As long as it passes the genuine check, I have nothing to worry about. You'll hear a lot of advice on Reddit and elsewhere where people will say, always buy your Ledger directly from Ledger. That's kind of a myth. You can buy your Ledger from anywhere. There are a lot of third parties that sell Ledger devices, and Ledger doesn't ship worldwide. Depending on what country you are in, that might be your only way to get a Ledger. You can also buy Ledgers at Best Buy, and you can buy them on Amazon. Ledger has its own store on Amazon, so you're pretty much buying directly from Ledger, but they're just warehousing their devices with Amazon in that case. So yeah, it's perfectly safe to buy a Ledger device from Amazon. I wouldn't buy one on eBay. The only danger there is that they may have already set it up and included a seed phrase, and if you don't know what you're doing, you might think that you're supposed to just use the device with that seed phrase, and that would be a scam. But it's exceedingly difficult for anyone to tamper with a Ledger. It's never been done, actually. The vast amount of crypto gets lost by people mismanaging their seed phrase or doing silly things like sending their crypto to the wrong address or interacting with malicious smart contracts on dodgy websites. It's usually user error. I hate to say that, but I know that people would rather not blame themselves, and they're always very suspicious of the device itself. But Teju, that's a good question. Thank you for asking. Is that a ham radio on the corner of your desk? Yeah, it is. I never could figure out how to use that darn thing. I've always been telling myself that I would, learn how to use it and get to use it. I tried using it a few times. I couldn't find a channel that, I didn't know any of the lingo, and I didn't get registered or all that stuff. And I had signed up for some ham radio lessons, but but it's still sitting there. How can you spot a malicious smart contract? That's a very good question. The best thing to do, it's very difficult to spot them in the wild because in most cases you're doing blind signing when you're interacting with decentralized exchanges. And so the point is that if you're going to do DeFi, First of all, use a secondary device that doesn't have a huge balance on it. Second of all, if you're going to do swaps and trades, use legitimate sites like Uniswap. If you're on the legitimate Uniswap website, it's very unlikely that you're going to encounter a malicious smart contract. Usually, a malicious smart contract is going to live on a smaller, less less above board. If you're on a small DEX that you're not familiar with, that's when you might encounter a malicious smart contract. Another place that malicious smart contracts hide is on airdrop claim sites. So whenever you see something on Twitter, or even Facebook or Instagram or whatever that's saying, hey, there's a new airdrop, click here to claim your airdrop. A lot of these would be on Discord as well, where the links take you to the specific page of a coin. Those sites are very risky. So you may not be able to spot the malicious smart contract, but you can learn how to avoid the malicious smart contract. It's almost like saying, how do you spot the mugger that's going to run up behind you and hit you over the head and steal your wallet? Well, you may not spot the mugger, but you should avoid walking down dark alleys in bad neighborhoods at night, right? Stick to the main streets, do your, hang around during the day if you have to go somewhere. Get home before dark and lock your doors. All that kind of stuff is very similar to the way you would avoid malicious smart contracts. Stick to the legitimate websites. Make sure it's the official website of Uniswap or SushiSwap or 1inch or whatever. Verify that it's not misspelled and it's not some kind of faux site. Another big one that people get sucked into is minting NFTs. I admit that in order to mint an NFT, you generally do have to go to the official website of the NFT that's being distributed. But a lot of these NFT mints are malicious links, and a lot of people fall victim to these on Discord. I think is one of the big ones. Twitter also. They'll say minting starts at 2 p.m. and you got to do it fast or you'll miss out. And people click links without paying attention, and they end up on a malicious website, and that's where you end up signing malicious smart contracts. Now, if you are using your secondary device and you assign a malicious contract, then you won't be out that much because you're using your secondary device rather than your go-to device. Don't use the device that's got $50,000 worth of Ethereum on there, right? Little sage advice there. Yeah, if you were, if we were trading on Uniswap, we could switch networks. I forget how that works. It used to be pretty straightforward. Yeah, like I said, I haven't done this in a while, but yeah, you can trade. You could. It recognizes that I have some coins on different networks, like the Avalanche network or the Base network. I'm not going to do this. But yeah, I mean, using the Ledger Live seems like a much cleaner way to do this. So I encourage that. I'll probably do some more videos on how to use the Uniswap within Ledger Live. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I'm going to wind it down. I'm a little over. I usually try to finish up by 7. It's been great having everybody here. I didn't see my moderators tonight. Dan and JDO were absent, but maybe they have a cold like I do. So I hope they'll be here next week. Thank you, everyone else, for joining me tonight. Thank you, Kenny, for the news and for being here, as always. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. I always appreciate you guys being here every week and listening to me talk and drone on and make a few mistakes along the way. I hope you learned from my mistakes, and I hope you enjoyed everything we talked about tonight. I do this every week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream for Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me, and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody. Thanks. Yeah, I was better earlier. I don't know why. When I sat down and tried to talk, all of a sudden I got stuffed up again. But yeah, I'm taking good care of myself. So thanks for all your well wishes. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.